Ruben Amorim's Manchester United tenure has begun. He's officially arrived and is ready to work. But I'm sure the question on Manchester United fans' lips is, how is he going to fully revamp the squad? Who would we look to sign and why would we look to sign them? So in today's video, we're going to be going over the full Manchester United rebuild under Ruben Amorim. But before we begin, if you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and hit that like button too. It will be greatly appreciated. I am sure we have all heard the saying that defense wins you titles, so that's where we're going to start. We all know that Ruben Amorim likes to play with a back three, so let's look at which defenders would be needed for that sort of play. If we look at Manchester rivals Manchester City, they have John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Manu Akanji, Josko Gvardiol, Kyle Walker and Nathan Ake, who can all play across the back two. So as you can see, that is a lot of options and quality options at that. So let's look at Manchester United centre halves and start trimming out players who just simply won't have the game time under Ruben Amorim in his back three formation. After looking at the centre half options, Luke Shaw will stay, Martinez will stay, and Lenny Yoro will also stay, as well as summer signing Matthias de Ligt, meaning we will see departures for Johnny Evans, Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. So as you can see, 4 centre halves to cover 3 positions is clearly not enough. So I think 2 more centre half signings are necessary. So let's get into that and discuss who Manchester United should sign. Centre back signing number 1, in my opinion, should and will be Ousmane Diomande. I feel like he fits the bill, brings that quality, brings that youth with him as well, but most importantly, he has worked with Ruben Amorim already. He can play in the centre of the back three or on the right of the back three too, providing just the perfect competition for United's 4 centre halves that we decided to keep. He has the athleticism to keep up in the Premier League. He also has the composure on the ball to play. He's not scared of anything. And he's always been branded as the John Stones of the Portuguese division. He has that aerial prowess too. It just seems the perfect sort of signing. And he would demand, around 60 million. That seems to be his release clause. So a decent fee to be playing for a young prospect who's quick, who's fantastic on the ball, but also, most importantly, like I said, has worked under Ruben Amorim. Now on to centre-back signing number 2, and I feel like Crystal Palace's Marc Guéhi is the perfect sort of player. He's homegrown, he's rumoured to be allowed to leave the club for 40 million either in January or the summer, so that seems like an absolute bargain. He's also used to playing in a back 3 with Crystal Palace under Oliver Glasner, and previously he can play centre-back, he can play left centre-back, and he can play right centre-back too. So he covers completely Amorim's back 3. He just also is just so composed in any sort of situation. He's happy to do a job for the team and he never shies away from a challenge. So with all of those considered, Marc Guéhi, you are the perfect 6th centre half for Amorim's system. So for a combined 100 million, we can say Marc Guéhi and Ousmane Diomande are perfect. So Manchester United fans, doesn't that look better? Look at the wealth of options and quality in there for 100 million, which means Luke Shaw can also be pushed to be as a wing-back option rather than a centre-half option primarily. Now on to the next position for Amorim's brutal United rebuild, and it's the wing-back / full-back positions. So let's look at Manchester United's options there. So after looking at the wing-backs, Mazraoui will stay, Diogo Dalot will stay, and Malacia will stay. So that means after saying Luke Shaw would potentially stay, after assessing the centre-backs and signing Diomande and Guéhi, I feel like he is surplus to requirements. He's a great player, but his injuries are just far too much. A left-footed right wing-back is necessary for Manchester United, and I feel like it would be silly not to go back shopping in Sporting and get Giovanni Kenda, who is just 17 years old. But my word, is this kid a special talent. Having already worked under Amorim, he provided an assist against Manchester City in the Champions League, and I feel like he would just fit the system like a glove, adding attacking ability to right wing back, because as we know, United have Mazraoui and Dalot who can play there, but they aren't the most, attacking sort of players. So getting Giovanni Kenda for around 25 to 30 million would be the perfect signing, and United have been linked with him, over the past couple of weeks, and rightly so. I feel like he is the perfect player for a cheapest price to just bolster that right wing back sort of spot. Well, now on to left wing back, and I mean, was I ever going to leave out a blockbuster opportunity in Alphonso Davies? Somebody who wants to leave Bayern Munich, he's made that public, and he can play left wing back to an absolute T. I feel like Amorim's system would suit this guy to an absolute T for sure. He has the pace, the skill, the trickery, and of course he's on a free next summer. I mean, why wouldn't Manchester United want to put their hat in the ring, or even put their hat in the ring in January where they could get him for like 20 million? It is definitely somebody I see Amorim going for. So for a combined fee of 40 million, Giovanni Kenda and Alphonso Davies will be the perfect wing-back signings for Amorim, especially if United could get Alphonso Davies on a free next summer. So United fans, what do you guys think about your new look wing-backs? Players who can play on both flanks, players who are quick, players who are there defensively good. I feel like this would make United so good in those wide defensive and forward areas. Now let's move on to midfield, where there's going to be a lot of work needed, and I'm going to be focusing on players who can play in those double pivot roles that Amorim likes in the 3-4-3. So let's get down to trimming. In terms of players to keep, Collier, Mainu and Ugarte are the three midfielders that would stay, and you may be asking about Bruno Fernandes, but he's going to be categorized as an inside forward / one of those wider options in Amorim's system, which means goodbyes for Eriksen and Casemiro in the summer or January. Sometimes cheap bargains are what you need, and I feel like Nico Gonçalves from Porto is the perfect midfielder for Ruben Amorim ball. He's someone who's got long legs, he's comfortable on the ball, he can play in either of those, defensive positions, either that's the number 6 or the number 8 that can drive with the ball. He has just so many qualities, and his large frame makes it very hard to take the ball off him. So I feel like Ruben Amorim will definitely be looking towards him as a player to sign, and we must not underestimate the Portuguese division. There is a lot of talent there and a lot of players who can transfer to the Premier League easily. So for around 25 million, I feel like Nico Gonçalves is the perfect player to replace the outgoing Casemiros, Eriksens of this world. Balance is a very important thing in football, so I feel like the next signing Manchester United should make in the midfield is Adam Wharton of Crystal Palace. He adds defensive stability, he can drive with the ball, he has an eye for a pass as you can see, and I feel like he just will add steel into that midfield as well as youth. And United need this sort of profile because having a left-footed player just opens up more angles, opens more avenues for balls into the box, balls into the feet of strikers, and that is exactly how you can open up teams. And he's still got, so many good years ahead of him, and under Amorim, who already has experience of, helping young players develop, I feel like Adam Wharton would be the perfect sort of signing, and for a fee of around 60 million, seems to be what Crystal Palace would be looking for. He would be the perfect guy. So for a combined fee of 80 to 90 million, Adam Wharton and Nico Gonçalves will be perfect additions to the United midfield. So there we have it, United fans, a very young but a quality set of midfielders that will bolster Manchester United in the midfield. Adam Wharton, Kobbie Mainoo, Nico Gonçalves and Manu Ugarte. Perfect for Amorim ball. Now let's move on to the forward areas where we'll actually find most of the attacking players are going to stay. United are already pretty stacked in this area, but let's look at those positions now. So in terms of the players staying, Bruno Fernandes will stay, Garnacho will stay, Ahmad will stay, and so will Mason Mount. Which means, unfortunately, Marcus Rashford's Manchester United career comes to an end, and I feel like a fresh start for him is necessary, but also Anthony Dos Santos will be leaving the club too. And well, it's time we splashed the big bucks, and I'm talking 95 to 100 million pounds on Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. With Rashford leaving the club, United will need another special left winger, and I feel like Khvicha is the man for the job. Somebody who can receive on the half turn, somebody who can receive in the pockets, which Amorim will like very much. He has the ability to beat a man, he has powerful ball striking, and he can operate from the left and the right if needed. So I feel like United could really do with him, and the money, 90 million, it is definitely sort of the money that you would have to splash on him, because he's ultimately a game changer and he'll bolster the options in those wide and inside forward positions. So here we have it, the Manchester United attacking options: Khvicha Kvaratskhelia for 90 million, Bruno Fernandes, Garnacho, Amad Diallo and Mason Mount. Now let us get on to the forward line, where there will only be one change to it. I think Rasmus Højlund will definitely stay at the club. I feel like he has the perfect, qualities to thrive under Ruben Amorim. And I also think it would be unfair to get rid of Joshua Zirkzee. So he will also be staying at the club under Ruben Amorim. But one player I would add to it is Matheus Cunha, who has all the fundamentals to thrive at United. I feel like United need another player who can receive in the spaces and drive with the ball, and Cunha is really, really good at that. Coupled with the fact that he has Premier League experience and would cost around 50 million, he's the sort of player that can plug gaps and really make an impact in games. Furthermore, he has the versatility to play on the left wing, the right wing, and centre forward. So, he just seems a very, very useful player and somebody who Amorim would really, really like. So there we have it, United strikers/forwards to end the United rebuild under Ruben Amorim. A lot of quality players, so let us just go from back to front, the goalkeepers to the strikers, looking at the players in full. Goalkeeper wise, I think Onana and Bayindir are going to stay at the club for a very long time. Two quality options. Tom Heaton is a nice number 3, but when he retires, I'm sure another keeper will be signed by Amorim. In the centre-back position, we have made 2 new signings with Diamonde and Guehi, adding to Yoro, Martinez and De Ligt. In the midfield, we signed Nico Gonçalves and Adam Wharton to add to the already quality Kobbie Mainoo and Manuel Ugarte. In the wing-back positions, we saw Alphonso Davies and Kenda come in to add to the already strong Mazraoui, Malacia and Diogo Dalot. In the winger and wide forward areas, we saw just one signing in Kvicha Kvaratskhelia to add to Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho, Amad Diallo and Mason Mount. And in terms of the striker position, Matheus Cunha was signed to add to Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee. Well, Manchester United fans, I hope you have enjoyed. Please make sure you have subscribed if you are new here, and let me know in the comment section any other players that you think Ruben Amorim will sell or even sign.